Welcome to the Get Sacred podcast. I'm your host, intuitive life coach Melissa Elysian, and I'm here to teach you how to create more money, more love, and more sacred success. If your inner goddess is ready to create a lusciously abundant and pleasure-filled life, you're in the right place.
Hi everybody. I just wanted to get on here and go through the money truths that I've been sharing this week and just add a little bit of my love and attention and affection to those statements so that we can expand on them, so that you can use them to grow, so that you can know how I think and feel about them and why I chose them to do as a countdown to me sharing my money program and opening enrollment on Monday. I'm really excited about that. I'm so excited because I think, oh my goodness, what a wonderful time for this. What a beautiful time for people to step in this kind of power. And I'm ready. I'm so excited and ready to teach you the things that I've learned in my life and in my business about money and how it aligns with my truth spiritually and my spiritual practice and my spiritual journey. So let me talk about the first one that we did for the countdown was the truth: money is sacred. And you have probably heard me say this before, and I just want you to, when you think about this truth, acknowledge that, money in itself doesn't have any type of empirical energy, right? It's not a good thing or a bad thing. It is just energy. And if we decide that our relationship to it is going to be a sacred one, a one that's blessed, a one that is holy, then we get to do wonderful, amazing things with it, right? We're living in a world right now where too many people who aren't doing the right thing, who don't want to do the right thing, who aren't serving each other, who are not standing in the truth of just being a human being on this planet and caring and loving other people, have money. And there's so many good people who are opting out, who are deciding that they're going to be powerless in the circumstance because of those other peoples. And what if we had a world where the good people decided to rise up and have everything that they should and have the finances that they need to put the kind of people that they want in authority, and also to help people on a really massive scale? Like, what if you weren't busy worrying about what you needed for your day-to-day? What could you do? What could you do if you had all of the financial resources that you need to take care of your basic stuff, your essential stuff, and you didn't have to worry about that stuff? What if you had the ability then to actually show up in your life and create what you wanted, right? Like, what would your focus and energy be? And I know that for a lot of people, especially in my community, that focus would be creating joy and pleasure in their own lives, but also impacting other people's in a beautiful way. So I've decided for myself that money has to be sacred, right? It has to be something beautiful and holy. It has to be, my relationship to money has to be one where I decide that it is good, right? It is for my good and it's for other people's good, for me to create wealth for myself and my environment, and also to put myself in a place where I don't have to be worrying about my basic needs, so that I can bring my magic into the world. Okay, the next one, remind me as I move and I look, is my relationship with money is now and forever blessed. I love this statement because in this statement is the opportunity to decide that everything that's happened in your relationship with money from the past is is a non-issue. It's just not an issue, right? Like, just to make a declaration today that your relationship with money is now and forever blessed. And when you start to embody this truth, what will happen, which has happened for me, is that I can look back on times where I feel like I made money mistakes and realize how in those ways that relationship was still blessed, right? That all of the choices that I made, all of the lessons that I learned, all of the things that I put money into and the kinds of returns that it gave me were blessed. And I couldn't feel that in real time all the time because it felt like it was a struggle. It felt like I was making poor decisions maybe, or that I didn't know better because I didn't trust myself and I didn't think I could manage my money well. But if you can step into the idea that your relationship with money is now and forever blessed, what you get to do is just decide, like, I'm putting this situation in God's hands in regards to, like, I believe in God, and I believe in the fact that I have what it takes to learn, to manage my money. I have what it takes to call in the money that I want. I have what it takes to make the investments, to make the decisions, and to learn from them, and to grow, and to make the right ones over and over, and to learn from the ones that I decide I want to do better. Just to decide that your relationship is blessed and that there's room for you to grow. There's room for you to make more. There's room for you to expand. There's room for you to fuck it up and then it be fixed again, right? Because it is blessed in such a way that you can know that it's like not all on you, right? It's not on you to make everything happen, and that there is a part of it that is so sacred that you can trust in it, that it's reliable. Instead of being in a place of scarcity, you're leaning into a place of abundance, and knowing that that abundance is not just from within you, it's also from outside of you. All right, the next one is I am worthy of the money that I desire. So important. One, so important because, oh my gosh, do we need permission to want the things that we want, to say them out loud, to ask for them, right? So much. We need permission to just to say it out loud, really, just to say it out loud. And the truth is, in regards to your money, it's no different than any desire. It's no different than anything else that you want. You're inherently worthy. I really believe that when you have a desire, the thing that makes you know that you're worthy is that that desire is coming through you, right? We don't all have the same desires. I mean, I think that's a very critical and important thing that people don't pay enough attention to. Like, we don't want the same things. And there's a reason why we don't want the same things. There's a reason why we're called to different things. There's a reason why our lives are called to do different things. There's a reason why I want to, I don't know, anything in particular versus somebody else wanting to do something else, right? I am called to create the kind of life that I want to live, and you're called to create the kind of life that you want to live. And the best that we can do in that acknowledgement is recognize that the reason why our desires are different is because we have different things that we need to bring to the world, and that our desires are inherently worthy because we're inherently worthy. There's no work there. If you have the desire, it's because it's for you to create it, right? So there's nothing worthy or unworthy about that. If you have the desire, it is because it is for you to create it. And so, of course, if you desire money, you are worthy of it because that's why you want it. The desire is there because you have something that you need to build or create or have in your life that is associated with that desire. The desire itself makes you inherently worthy. And so, of course, you're worthy of it. The next one is I give and receive in abundance and ease. Sorry, I'm moving the camera around so I can see it. I give and receive in abundance and with ease. Okay, so this is so the word is not important. This is so critical to understand, right? Because so many of us have such an easy time giving, right? We're accustomed to giving of ourselves, over giving, sharing, showing up for people who don't show up for themselves, wanting to take care of everyone, wanting to give the world. And I'm not saying that it's wanting to give is a bad thing, but some of us are so good at that. We're so good at showing up for other people, and we're so bad at letting people show up for us. We can be so bad at letting ourselves receive what we need in order to have what we want and to have what we need. We can be so bad at just letting the abundance that wants to show up for us in. And what does that look like? That looks like not being able to accept a compliment. I've been there. It happens sometimes. It looks like not being able to receive more than you need because you're like, oh, no, it's okay. This is all I need. No, you don't have to do all that. Guilty also. I've been there. I still do it. I have limits around that, right? I know that's what I'm learning in my process is that the more that I learn to receive, I hit limits. I'm like, oh, but that's a lot, but I get to a new thing and I'm like, wait. That's cool, but that is a lot. We have limits in regards to how much we're willing to take in, and we're not paying attention to the fact that every time we limit our capacity to receive, we're also limiting our capacity to give. What a miserable and horrible, terrible thing, right? That you feel a call and a desire to show up for somebody, but you can't, not because it's not aligned with you. You can't because you haven't let yourself receive enough to show up in that way. Why? If you are feeling abundant in your capacity to give, you have to feel abundant in your capacity to receive. That is the source, right? Your capacity to receive is the source. It's the flow of where all of your resources come from, energy, finances, etc. So your ability to give in abundance is due to, is reliant on your capacity to receive in abundance, right? And so any blocks to receiving limit your capacity to create for yourself and to create for the world, which is just like a damn shame, to be frank. Okay. And then the money truth that I shared today, which is like my favorite one, this is my favorite one, is my pleasure, my passion, and my profits are all a part of my purpose. I love it. I love it. I love it. I love it. Number one, I deeply, 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 deeply believe that so much good comes from our pleasure. So much good comes from our pleasure. When you allow yourself to dive into your pleasure, that's when you know what to do, right? You know what to do when you're like, ooh, that feels good. That's the right thing to do. If you let your pleasure lead you, it will guide you in the right direction. If you let the things that light you up be the way that you know how to go, you're going to do amazing and beautiful things because you're going to be living in a place of this high vibration and love energy of who you are that's authentic to you. And every time we lean into our pleasure, we fill ourselves. And from that fullness, what's created is so much magic. It's so much creativity. It's so much joy. It's so many aha moments. It's so many connections of ideas that we didn't have before. It's so many connections to people who are resources and ideas that actually join with ours and make magical combustions of miracles. Our pleasure is a deep source of direction and fullness and love. It's really a gift to the world when you show up from a place of fullness. And what does that better than pleasure? I mean, really, like, what does that better than you like laughing so hard for like 15 minutes because you're in your joy? What lines you up with yourself better than the things that give you joy and give you just pure like giddiness and give you pure satisfaction and embodiment and fullness? What does that more than pleasure? Nothing, I don't think. I don't think anything does. And so it's such a powerful place to figure out where to go, how to show up in the world, what to do. And it also is such a source of creativity. And so when we're talking about profits, when we're talking about creating wealth, when you're doing it from a place of abundance, of personal abundance, like internal fullness, you're more powerful, period. You're more creative, you're more insightful, you're more connected to what people need and what they want, but also you're connected to how you can show up. You're connected to your authenticity. You can relate to others from a really powerful place because you're showing up as your motherfucking self. You know what I mean? Like, it's huge. It's a really, really big deal. So my pleasure, my passion, and my profits are all a part of my purpose. The reason why I say all of these things are part of your purpose is because you were uniquely and individually created, right? Your personality is unique to you, right? And all of the things that you want, all of the things that you desire, all the things that you want to create, all the things that you want to bring into the world are a part of your purpose. And your pleasure, your passion, right, and your profits are all these things that make you you, that allow you to show up in your fullness and do whatever God sent you here to do, right? That, like, I don't even know what else I want to say about that. Like that, those four things together, right? Knowing that you financially have what you need and that you're not worried about you're not worried about, it's not even not worried about, it's like being in a place where you're abundant, when you're really not having to worry about stuff like that, because you're at a frequency of creativity and you're in a frequency of receiving. You know that things are showing up for you. You can be so much more playful. You can bring so much more to the table. You can show up in the ways that you were intended to. You can show up as your motherfucking self, like I said, and you can do the work that you were brought here, what your soul was called to do. You can do that because you're not wasting your energy focusing on things that are not aligned to you, are a low vibration because they're made of scarcity thoughts. You don't have to do that if you align yourself to your pleasures, your passions. You align yourself to the profits that you need for you to feel good, for you to feel, so you can have it back up what is showing up for you in your life, so you can have it back up that God is really giving you all the resources that you need in this circumstance. You know what I mean? If you have those things, you get to show up in life in a way where you are walking in God's call for you. I really think that is the magic of this work, right? Is that when I align myself to my pleasure and I allow myself to live fully, I allow myself to be in my magic, be in my most highest version of love, is when I'm in joy. That's the truth. When I'm feeling full, I show up uniquely and divinely as myself, and then I get to do the work that God's called me to do. Like what? Like boom. Like that's the magic of just being alive. This is my work, right? This is my call for all of you, is to show up in life in a way where you're aligned to your divinity. You understand the power that God has placed inside you to create and to move in the world with your majesty, but also to understand that this call of love inside of your heart, for you to live that every fucking day in whatever magic God gave for you to bring it out and show it to the world. That's the work. All right, so those are my money truths for this week. We have one on tomorrow, and then we have one on Sunday. And then on Monday, I'm going to share with you the insides of my new money program. I'm really excited about that. I'm looking to call a bunch of high priestesses, a bunch of divine women into a deep alignment with what it means to create abundance in their lives. And I'm super excited about it. I'm super excited to show you what's inside of it. I'm super excited to change your energetic frequency around money and your alignment to it because of what I know it's going to mean for your own life. Right? For you to show up more fully when you know that you have the power to create the financial peace destiny that you want, but also because I'm super excited about what it means for the people who are around you, right? What does it mean for your family? What does it mean for your children? What does it mean for your girlfriends that you're showing up in this way, that they can see you shine like this? What does it mean for your community when you are not busy worried about low vibe stuff and you're like, oh, I have fullness, so out of my fullness I can create this, I can show up in this really magnificent way that I feel like God is calling me. I think, like I said, there's nothing more beautiful than that. So I'm super excited on Monday to show you the inside of the program and to invite you into it. And so for the next 2 days, rock with me for the Money Mindset Challenge, say these affirmations, write these affirmations, reflect on them, and really ponder, what would it mean for this shit to be true for me? What would it mean if today I decide my pleasures, my passions, and my profit and are all a part of my purpose, period. That's what it is. That's what it's going to be forever. Amen. What does that mean for every day of your life in the future if you decide that's going to be true? What does it mean when you decide your relationship with money is now and forever blessed? What does it mean from the past? How does that clear up everything in the past financially? And what does that mean for your future? Think on these few things. I've got 2 more in the next few days. I want you to let them resonate. Open yourself up to the possibility of doing everything differently, of realizing that the work is not the fucking hustle. The work is alignment. The work is not what you're doing 9 to 5. The work is the alignment to your calling. The work is the alignment to understanding that everything that God has for you is available. That is the work. And then it gets easier, right? It gets so much easier because instead of hustling to make stuff happening, you're just opening yourself up. You're just letting yourself see possibilities. You're letting people show up for you. You're letting God show up for you. That's what you're doing. You're letting God show up for you, and you're letting you show up as you. You're letting you show up as you authentically and do your magic, do your work, do and be in your fullness. Like I said, there is nothing more beautiful to me than that, right? For us to step in our divine qualities, our divine callings, to get in alignment with who we are, to get in alignment with God has for us, to let him let her, whatever you want to call it, bring all of the things that you need to you so you can do that work. And we've been, a lot of us have been brought in a place of scarcity. And so there's this limits. We have limits on how much we can receive. We have limits on what's possible. And there aren't any limits. So all you have to do is align to that truth, align to that reality, and see what will happen without you even doing anything else.
Hey, I want to invite you to join my program, Six Figure Frequency. It's for sacred women who want to align with the energy of money. Go to melissaelysian.com/money to join.